Insanity, insanity, whatever happened to humanity?
Deep breaths, calm the mind, ease the soul. Calm the mind, ease the soul. Been a minute since I did an anime review. And this is a review that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Since I became a YouTuber. It's one of those. It's one of those. You do not want to miss out on one of those. Blue Seed is a Japanese animation that has been made in 1994. Jesus Christ, man. That's a long time. This anime is old. What the hell was I doing in 1994? Doing shit that I was not supposed to be doing? Watching shit like this? This is a damn good anime that has been created by Yuzo Takada. Momiji is an average girl until one day she finds out that she is the descendant of the great Kusanada family. Only she, with her Kusanada blood, can stop the origami, demonic plant-like creatures threatening to destroy Japan. It is up to her and the TAC along with Kusanagi to help save humanity from total destruction. Watch Blue Seed. Watch it. You need to watch this anime. When I first came across this anime in 1999, I was 9 years old, so I didn't come across it when anime was released. I came across it when they were showing animes in the television networks. I was lucky to come across this anime. Blue Seed played a big place in my heart when I was a kid. It gave me the good genre of just how animes is the eventuated version of just how cartoons are. In fact, if people still compare cartoons to animes now, I will fucking kill them emotionally. But Blue Seed, man, as me watching it as a kid, I just love the detail of the anime's potential that was literally pushed upon me. Like, the dialogue to it, the chemistry with the characters, the story itself. It's not like one of these animes that has a cliche story with cliche characters and they do cliche shit and you just be in a prediction scale of just how things are going to get played out. When it comes to us being there, done that, when it comes to all these animes having these same trope angles. The only thing that keeps us pulled in is just how the action gets taken place and how the characters end up going to the whole persona's perspective of just how the whole anime is going to get them to hold things up. But Blue Seed isn't like that. This anime has literally got me on the edge of my seat from start to finish as a kid. And by me watching it now so I can get my brain refreshed, to get my whole persona mind up into the whole scale aspect to show you guys what I really feel about it now, since I'm an adult, I love this even more. Because by me being an adult, a lot of things made sense to me. And a lot of things has pulled me in to the point where as a kid, I was still hooked, but by me watching it now, I will have to tell you, this is a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece done with perfection. I think I have reviewed more of Yuzo Takada's work. I don't know what it was, but his name sounds familiar. Like, I know I've said this name already. The anime picks up at a very fair pace, but they want to give you the whole dialect of the introduction scale of just giving us a prologue, showing us that this whole entire city, Japan itself, is already in peril. It's already in the verge of extinction by the TAC looking for one of the, I don't want to spoil it, but just looking for one of the people that's supposed to help them out because the origami has already been summoned, already about to wreak havoc. And it really like put me on the edge. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Now, even though I watched it already, listen, it's over like 2 decades ago. So I was still on the hinges. I was still like on the guessing scale. And I was like, holy shit. Man, like we're doing this on the first episode already. So this is a good way for us to get hooked in. This is a good way for us to be on the thrilling aspect of just being aware of what's to come if we continue this project. And pretty soon, we are introduced to the main character that's going to hold us over to this whole project to see how everything's going to play out, and above all, how things are going to get taken place in the whole manner of this whole project being into our whole fingertips of us enjoying it. And this is Momiji. Momiji, cliche enough, is a high school girl. She's a high school girl, and I thought that she was going to be one of these characters by her being the main and by her being known as her being a Kusanagi, by living in a family that's like trying to not give her too much for her to render so she can lose her mind. They was trying to comfort her, make her feel as if she's normal. And we fall for that as well, because as the story continues, not only is she a normal high school girl that has a high school crush, that tries to do high school shit, just a normal high school girl, but she is one of these characters that is, how to say this without putting her down. She's a klutz. She's one of these characters that if you depend on her to do things, she's gonna fuck things up. She's one of these oof characters. She's one of these Daphnes, And I'm saying that in a kind-hearted way, because normally when characters like this be the main protagonist and they are giving certain missions, giving certain objectives, getting certain paths to, for us to feel like, okay, they're going to progress, they're going to do better, and they end up fucking up, it makes us hate these characters. But for some reason, I didn't hate Momiji. She felt realistic. And I feel like, by developers and users of Takata doing this angle with the main character, you're playing a dangerous mind game. It's like you having a main character doing bad shit, but at the same time it wins us over because we know why they have done what they have done. But the reason why I'm giving Momiji a pass is because she is a realistic character. When she is given these obstacles, especially when she is known to be the Kusanagi and things started getting taken in place, when we know more about her, we know more about her life, when we know enough is what I'm essentially saying, a lot of bad things begin to happen, and that's when the whole clumsiness and the bad aspect of her character get taken in place, and the whole strong suit of her gets pulled into us by seeing how much do we like her. Do we like her enough for us to understand these mistakes that she's making, to understand these fuck ups? And some of these fuck ups that she does is kind of deliberate, like kind of on a cliche aspect, but we like her enough for us to keep her chin up, to keep her tough, to keep her imposed to this type of stuff. And thankfully, she gotten over it because she is the Kusanagi family, so we need her to be strong. But she couldn't have done it without her friends. She couldn't have done it with her comrades leading her on to this project. And this is where we have Kusanagi. Kusanagi is one of the main characters that help Momiji out in this journey, but at one point he wasn't. At one point he was gonna be into the verge of killing her because he thought that she, by her being a Kusanagi, is she worthy of the Kusanagi aspect, or is she gonna leave Tokyo in ruin? So that's why he was in the aspect of just trying to take her life. But when he realized how she was, how kind-hearted she was, he knew that she wasn't in the verge of destruction. She was in the verge of understanding how things was. So he saw good in her. So by Kusanagi guiding her on to the path of just trying to be righteous, we see how Kusanagi is personally. Kusanagi is a nice and kind-hearted person as well, but he tries to play hard to get because he be in the brink of battle when it comes to protecting her or just protecting Japan through the origami. And trust me, Kusanagi is part of the origami timeline scale, so he can transform. And we need people like him because, trust me, these origami is no joke. So when we begin to know Kusanagi, when we begin to know how he forms up when it comes to him being at the brink of battle or just being around the friends that's helping him out in this journey, we see the good and we see the bad aspects of Kusanagi. We see his weak points get pointed out when it comes to him being an asshole towards Momiji at certain points. And it will piss me off at certain moments, but when you look at certain things when it comes to his youth, and just him being in the collision course of who to care for and who to root for, or just who to go to when it comes to the attachment cycle of just being around women, because there are a lot of women that like Kusanagi on this anime that Momiji begins to be a little on the shady side because Momiji loves Kusanagi. She has a boner for Kusanagi, but Kusanagi is not aware of this, so he just goes and does what the fuck he wants to, and it goes into a collision course scale of just feeling like, okay, Momiji, admit how you feel towards him. Kusanagi, stop being an asshole towards Momiji, because you know how Momiji feels. It's no fucking coincidence. Any 10-year-old kid knows how she is towards you is because she has feelings for you. But this anime wants you to earn that shit. And I kind of like that with these two characters because we begin to know their bond begin to be more and more impactful as the anime continues. Things don't get intense enough. We introduced to Kume. Now, I like Kume's character. She's literally the badass chick that holds the big guns, the bazookas, the AK-47s. And if she's not lifting no iron, then she's lifting steel. She's lifting weights. I like this woman. And a badass chick like that, she's I forgot the character's name, but the person who played the voice of Kume, the English version, plays the same voice. She's a voice character who plays Oscar from the Neon Genesis Evangelion series from the 1990s. They both badass characters. They're both bitchy characters. They both got blonde hair. So I was like, Yusa Takada was like, okay, I'm gonna bring you into this one too because they both match the perspective of the character development. I like the Kume. We need a character like this. Every character on the anime has done their part to the point where when the origami showed up or when there was downtime, it made sense of how their pacing was when it comes to the relations of how these characters get played out. So Kume wasn't a bitchy character because she was a bitch. She was a bitchy character because she didn't want people to think that she's weak. And there was times where she did show her weak side, especially when it comes to the emotional aspect of her coming in to a love interest as well. And she tried to play hard to get. She tried to be a bitch, but the person just literally told her, listen, you don't gotta be tough with me. I can see right through that shit. And she just broke down crying. Honestly, that's how me and my girlfriend met. Then we have Ryoko Takeuchi. Ryoko is my favorite. She's my favorite. She's down to earth. I like the voice of her character. Normally the voice actors that play as her, I forgot her name too. She always played the voice of bad guys, bad women. But she decided to play the voice of this character, a good guy. Ryoko, she has like the slang, the slang hair covering up her eye or whatever. She's a gun wielder, and at the same time, she's literally like a specialist when it comes to dealing with things under pressure. She's a kind-hearted and she's a calm woman. I don't think I've ever seen her lose her cool in this anime, even when bad things happen. And what I like about her the most is that even though when she has like her aspects where she's supposed to be tough, she has to be self-sophisticated. She has to know how things are. She also has a weak point as well that I don't want to spoil here, but these weaknesses with these characters show us their strengths when they overcome them, even when it comes to them expressing how they really feel towards other people in this project. And that's what I liked about Ryoko, because even though they have an episode that express how she really felt towards certain people or just a person that she really cares about, she still kept her ground. She still kept her hard spot. She still kept her composure. So even if things didn't work out the way she wanted to, she was prepared for the worst because she knows that this is the world that we live in, that even though there's a person that you like or love, there's no such thing as equal balance of loving a person. That's why no heartbreak is perfect. Somebody's gonna get heartbroken because they love the person way more than the other one does. Then we have Azuzu Masudera. Azuzu is my second favorite character. Now, she doesn't really do much. She's literally like a scientist that studies the origami when they get their mission done. They want to try to see what the origami's weakness is, what their intent was, or just where they came from so they can try to kill the origami of where they're growing from. Azusa is a character that even though they don't show much of because she's a scientist, I like that when they do show her, she has a lot of things to say. She has a lot of things to break the ice with certain characters. There's even times with some characters on this project of the TAC, they have little problems of how to confess certain things for certain people. And that's where Azusa comes in. She literally tells people straight up, hey, listen, just go to them. Just say it how it is. You act all tough in the battlefield, but you don't act all tough when you begin to have a one-on-one conversation. I love Azusa. She is very realistic. And then when it comes to her expressing things in a good, positive way, she can even say things in a way where it makes her feel like a little bit of a bitch in a way, especially when it comes to her shaping up Momiji. There are times when we get later into the project where Momiji would doubt herself, will literally say that I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if the world should depend on me because I'm a klutz. I don't know if I can make it through this. Like, I can't pass any grade in school, so how can I save the world? And Azusa literally just told her, hey, look, I agree. Maybe you should just give up. And then Momiji just flips out. But Azusa literally just said it like this. I like you, I'm cool with you, but I'll give up on you if you do. Which made Momiji realize that, listen, I got a lot of people riding on me. I can't let my emotions get the better of me. And Azusa literally helped Momiji get to the aspect of her being emotionally balanced, of her having tough skin. And I can't like Azusa enough for that, to help us like the main character more so she can be tough on a project. But when we get done with the pacing of the characters, when we get done knowing enough with these characters, this is when the anime shows us the whole power engine of the project, get us deeper into the story, get us deeper into the aspect of the lore of the project by showing us the ins and out of how this anime is going to play out. And that's what I like a lot about this anime, is that it doesn't just shows you the coin aspect of the good guys trying to kill the origami, and the bad guys too. I don't want to mention the bad guys, because by me mentioning the bad guys who owns the origami, who's in charge of the origami, I'm gonna ruin the twist for you. So you need to watch this anime so you can know what I'm talking about. But I will say, and I will mention about the origami aspect, by us seeing the side of the coin of the origami, of course the origami is deadly. The origami is vicious, ferocious. Like the origami, and what I like about the origami is that even though they're like plant-like creatures that come up and they just devour and they just kill human beings that stand in their way, and they just trying to regrow and repopulate Tokyo so they can make their own origami world. But these origami have different varieties of themselves. You got origami dogs, you got origami fish, you got origami trees and shit. Like, and these origami again are fucking killers. And what I like about these origami is like it's a lot like blue gender, where you can't just bullet sponge these motherfuckers. There is a weakness inside them, which is the blue seed, that even if you kill them, you have to literally crush and just obliterate the blue seed itself, so no more origami will grow into that seed. Which where Kusanagi comes in. When things gets bad and gunplay is not enough, Kusanagi comes in and saves the day. But there are times where even he gets fucked up a lot. Like there are times where I think he lost more battles than won, honestly. But these are not to say that all origamis are bad or awful. Just like the good guys, some of these origami want to understand humanity. Some of these origami actually hide in civilization, just trying to mind their own business because they don't want to get killed. And some origami just want to have peace. Like there was an episode that literally brought me in tears. Like I was literally crying, where Momiji and all the other characters was trying to kill this origami, and this origami just kept trying to like defend himself because they was trying to kill this tree. And the origami literally spoke to Momiji, just saying, hey, listen, I'm not trying to kill nobody. Y'all just trying to kill this tree. This tree is minding its own business. Like that's my lifeline. Just leave the tree alone, and I'll just leave y'all alone. And it was a female origami saying that, and it really broke me down. I was like, y'all just leave that origami alone. The origami ain't fucking with nobody, please. So this anime will do good when it comes to the gravitation of the emotion aspect of you getting pulled in by not just the good guys, the anti-heroes, the bad guys, to understand where they're coming from, but just the origami itself. And I can't give this anime enough praise by mentioning that. Getting deep into the project of this anime, by you not getting hooked in, by you not being synced into how everything is getting played out, you think that things will get better as the anime continues. No. The origami get smarter each time they kill them. The origami gets more sophisticated, showing artificial intelligence each time they take them down. Even Kusanagi begins to have his little doubts when it comes to the origami outnumbering them. And there was even an episode getting closer to the end of the project that even Mr. Todakita even told them, hey, listen, we might be on the end game of this. We might not live through this. So he even plans a day off with all the people in the TAC to just spend time with each other, just in case if they may not live to ever do it. And it had me and everybody else thinking like, damn, they may not live. This may be the end, you know? What anime does this shit? Normally when I watch animes, we get hooked into the character development to the point where they do things from start to finish without no doubts at all. But what I like about Blue Seed is that even though it's a fictional project, they want us to believe that these characters can get killed, and that's what makes the origami so diabolical. You want to believe that the enemies can win at least once. If we can't believe that, then these enemies is no threat, and we will not believe that they can succeed. They didn't do that here. Each time I seen a battle or a fight get played on Blue Seed, I really thought that the enemies can win. And it wasn't a cliche battle. There was battles where it really had me on the hinges. It had me really feel as if these enemies can kill them because of clumsiness, unprediction scales. The enemies had way more upper hand than they do, even though the TAC came in guns ready and ready for them to, to take them down. Very well done. Especially by the end of the project where they gave us a twist, gave us a certain unprediction scale by us being hit upside down and us trying to reiterate of how this anime is going to play out even more. I hate when that shit happens, but only if it doesn't make sense. But it all made more sense, especially when Momiji was beginning to understand why she was a Kusanada in the first place. I normally don't mention this in animes, but I have to mention this here. I gotta talk about the intro and the introduction. I loved them both. The intro of the anime was great. It was nice. It gave me the nice upbeat hit of the anime, just showing the blue sea rotating in motion. And all of a sudden you just see like the origami growing and growing, and before you know it, it's just obliterates and just takes control of Tokyo, and it just shows the characters. It just shows Kusanagi just transforming and just fighting origami in his path, just trying to save Japan and stuff. And you just hear the beat, just hear the whole rhythm of the music saying, "I said this Tokyo, I said this endless nightmare." You're gonna jump up, you're gonna really get up to beat with this anime. I downloaded the whole entire track of this. It felt great. It was like a tongue-in-cheek moment, but I loved it. It matched the whole tone of the anime, getting you prepared of what the anime, like what the next episode is going to hold for you. It really gave me some thriller vibes as well by us being into that whole pop aspect of just showing us the video of just these origami just fucking things up, and we're just dancing, just doing all this shit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That was a very good song to choose on the introduction of this project. And then we have the introduction, which is called Touch and Go, one of my favorite introduction songs today. Even if it's just calm and subtle, but we need that here, because when you watch these intense episodes, when you look at the death count of these civilians and just how these main characters are about to get killed off, we need something to ease the soul. We can't have Hastanas Tokyo, Hastanas endless nightmare, and the introduction as well. We don't need that. We need something to ease us. And by me having a sensitive heart, it's not healthy for me to be on the edge 24/7. So thank you for having the introduction on there. It's nice, it's calm, it's settled, it's peaceful. And it just shows Momiji just out in the window just looking like this. As it's raining, and it just shows the blue seed just rotating in the right side. I don't know, or was it the left side? I think it's the left side if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful. Overall, this anime is perfect. The ending of this anime even ended perfect as well. And the people that is not satisfied of the way how the anime ended and they wanted more, don't worry, we got more. We got Blue Sea Beyond, that's literally an OVA that's after the series. Now I thought this was okay. I thought this was a great continuation, just showing you how Kusanagi and Momiji lived their lives after they saved Japan. But honestly, I think people can live without that. Not that it was bad, but I felt like they just wanted to continue this off just to get the whole band back together. But the voice actors that play as Momiji on the 1994 anime is not on Beyond. So I really felt let down. I was like, where's the voice actors that play as Momiji? But don't let that hold you down. Don't let that hold you over. The whole anime itself is great. It's beautiful. It's a non-missable experience. You need to watch this, especially if you're an old school anime lover. If you have never seen Blue Sea, you probably have heard of it in your radar from other old school anime lovers. And even if you are a new school anime fan, it's still no excuse. There's nothing wrong with Blue Sea. And I normally kind of tell people that's into new school genre animes to kind of stay away from this because this may be too old for you to understand. But Blue Sea is very simple, and I'm not trying to shoot down the modern generation. But all I'm saying is this generation is kind of easy to drift away when it comes to the influential state of just good creativity like this. You do not want to miss out on Blue Sea. I guarantee you. I'm gonna have to give Blue Sea a legendary rating, an A+. I spent over 25 minutes on this anime review, but I knew that was coming. That's why I took my time reviewing this, because I wanted to perfect everything. I want to get everything right. I wanted to get everything settled down to the point where even if people that love Blue Seed and they watch this anime, I want it to satisfy them, because people that have watched Blue Seed knows that this is a good anime that you should not be missing out on. But other than that, that's all I have to say for today. Please stay tuned for my upcoming reviews and anime videos headed your way. This is Hugo, your critic teacher, and hope you all have a good day.